One player got interrogated by the police over drugs. Another player accidentally shot himself. Here are the craziest NFL stories you've never heard of. It's no secret that the NFL has some crazy history. It's now completed 101 seasons, which is quite a lot of time for crazy things to happen. It's truly produced it all. And if you look deep enough into NFL history, there's almost nothing you can't find. Let us look at the craziest moments in NFL history. Stories don't get much crazier than when Odell Beckham Jr. was removed by police from an aircraft before takeoff. Officials said he had failed to respond to requests to buckle his seatbelt and appeared to be unconscious. As they tried to wake OBJ to fasten his seatbelt, he appeared to be coming in and out of consciousness. Fearing that he was seriously ill and that his condition would worsen throughout the flight, crew members called for police and fire rescue. Well, it's a good thing they found out quickly. A Twitter post attributed to Beckham appeared to refer to the incident, saying, "Never in my life have I experienced what just happened to me." But this moment wasn't as crazy as when Kansas City Chiefs rookie quarterback Patrick Mahomes was reportedly robbed at gunpoint. Mahomes and 3 other people were robbed. The report states the group was then approached by a car carrying 2 men, with one said to have gestured as though he had a gun and demanded property to be handed over. 2 men were taken into custody, 34-year-old Michael Blake Pinkerton and 58-year-old Billy Ray Johnson. But that was not quite a headline, like when the news of Tom Brady leaving his pregnant girlfriend came to light. Tom Brady has 2 kids with his ex-wife, Gisele Bündchen, but Brady also has another child, John, whom they call Jack, with his former girlfriend, Bridget Moynihan. But when Brady and Gisele just started dating, a lot of people were under the opinion that Brady had left Moynihan mid-pregnancy to be with the supermodel. But what really happened? The GOAT quarterback and actress began dating in 2004. Their relationship was quite high profile, and the couple seemed happy together. They attended events together and were always close to each other in public. But somewhere along the line, their romance faded. They called it quits in December 2006, and just a few weeks later, Brady was set up on a blind date with supermodel Gisele Bündchen. But a couple of months after the breakup, Brady was shocked when he learned Moynihan was carrying his child. It was about 3 months after the two had split, and roughly 2.5 months since he and Gisele had started dating. When he told Gisele about the pregnancy, she was just as shocked. But despite rumors that Brady knowingly left Moynihan when she was pregnant, the quarterback didn't find out about the pregnancy until a couple of months after things were officially done with them. As for whether or not he left Moynihan to pursue a relationship with Gisele, that has never been confirmed. When Jack was first born, things seemed up in the air, but Moynihan and Brady had squashed any negative feelings they may have had toward each other. Today, they co-parent well, and Moynihan and Gisele appear to get along too. But one story which had the NFL on a spin was Brett Favre's ridiculous sex scandal. The NFL launched an investigation into allegations that Minnesota Vikings quarterback Brett Favre sent inappropriate photos and messages to at least one woman who worked for the New York Jets when he played for the team in 2008. The scandal began when the sports blog Deadspin posted a video including voicemails and nude, below-the-waist photos from someone who was reportedly believed to be Brett Favre. He was a married father and grandfather, so this case was a big one. Favre, who later declined to comment, had bounced back from controversy before, including reports of heavy drinking, Vicodin addiction, and 2 temporary retirements. But these charges were almost the ones to sink him. The NFL opened an investigation into the scandal in 2010, and while they never found Favre guilty of violating the league's personal conduct policy, they did fine him $50,000 for not cooperating with the investigation. Concussions, relationships, and sex scandals. But Aaron Rodgers' drug story is quite the craziest story ever. Legendary quarterback Aaron Rodgers created a bit of stir when he discussed previously having tried ayahuasca, a psychoactive tea containing the hallucinogenic drug DMT. Well, luckily for Rodgers, there was no discipline from the NFL regarding the star QB's admission regarding sampling the substance during a trip to Peru in 2020. The substance used by Rodgers was ayahuasca, which has been used for thousands of years for healing purposes in Central and South America. Since it isn't on the NFL's list of banned substances, Rodgers was safe. Rodgers claims his experimentation with ayahuasca improved his mental health, and he credited his improved mental health for helping him win the NFL MVP award in 2020 and 2021. It was a risk, and it was worth it. Well, talk about almost shooting yourself in the foot. Plaxico Burris accidentally shot himself in the right thigh and spent a night in the hospital. Even crazier, it was Burris who shot himself in the leg at a New York nightclub back in 2008. The weird thing about what happened to Burris is that he didn't even know he had shot himself. According to Burris, his first reaction was to check around the club to make sure he hadn't accidentally shot someone else. Even after surveying the club, Burris still didn't know that he had shot himself. The former wide receiver says that he didn't even realize he had been shot until he saw that his pants were wet with the substance that turned out to be blood. The situation ended up turning into a nightmare for Burris, but not because he shot himself. The situation got ugly because he didn't have a license to be carrying a gun in New York, and carrying an unlicensed firearm in the state called for mandatory jail time. It was also an issue because Michael Bloomberg, the mayor of New York City at the time, wanted to make sure the city court threw the book at Burris. In the end, Burris ended up pleading guilty to a weapons charge and was sentenced to 2 years in prison. The renowned receiver, who caught the game-winning touchdown pass for the Giants in their 17-14 win over the Patriots in Super Bowl 42, ended up spending a total of 20 months in jail. Well, that's quite the unfair reality football players face. But not to be unfair, why don't you subscribe? Also, don't forget to comment and like.